What's up, friends? Welcome into another edition of Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Thanks to everybody watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube as well, with Elijah Schmidt behind the cameras and Dan Courtwright. Sean Kellerman, the fellas are back.
I'm back.
I've been here. You're back.
I'm officially back.
You look tan.
Did you do something different with the place?
I loaded up the fridge and I cleaned the bathroom.
That makes
that where
sense.
you were going? Okay.
That was what it was.
All
yeah. Do I look tan? I feel tanner.
You're kind of like a weird, like, rosé bronze hybrid.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad place to be.
I got a little red. You
Yeah.
don't like here to here. You don't want to see it.
Yep.
It is glowing red.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not
and
great.
you did do
It's
the
like
correct thing and got burnt on the first day.
I got burnt on the first day. Not terrible, but still kind of pretty burnt.
Yeah.
Next day wasn't great, kind of slugging around, but then it got a lot better after
Yes.
that. And I just kind of just rolling with the punches.
That's
you know what I mean?
fair. Good time in Cancun, though. I want to
Yeah.
hear about that. Show everybody your finger.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing my official wedding ring. I don't know.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. So this is the silicone one. I don't know how you or anybody else does it.
So I put it on my finger,
I
and then
understand.
I just kind of keep it there.
See, that's the thing. Mine is so heavy, and it's not like made of. It's tungsten, which tungsten's dense, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a little loose on me, and I feel like I'm just gonna lose it all the time, and I don't like it. And I was telling people this like all on the wedding day, like afterwards. I was like, honestly, never gonna wear this thing again. I'm gonna wear the silicone one for the rest of my life
How
because
does your
I
bride
don't
feel about that?
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She's like, that's fine. That's okay.
As long as you got the symbol of everlasting
Yes.
unity.
Special occasions.
Yes.
I'll pull out the gold colored one, but
Yeah.
for the
That thing
remainder,
does have some weight on it, man. I held that.
I
for
know. Yeah, you did. You
couple seconds
Yeah,
there.
you held it. You're
and then
the one who handed it to
you
me.
kept refusing to put it on Piper's hand.
Yeah.
That was so funny, man. Oh my God.
True.
So I'm officiating the wedding, and I give Piper Dan's ring, and she appropriately, as she's saying the stuff that you say, puts the ring on Dan's finger.
So was I supposed to do it right away?
Well, you weren't supposed to wait until the very end.
I thought that was the
give
thing.
Dan Piper's ring, and he goes through all 5 things, and then eventually, finally, like, you got to a point where I was standing up there, I'm like, is he going to put this ring on her finger? 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't know what to
eventually
do.
I was gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
You did eventually,
That
then
was my first
everybody
time
took a
getting
sigh of
married. I
relief.
don't know how this stuff goes.
First time. You're right. You are a first timer to get married.
I figured like, I say all this stuff and then I put it on. I'm not gonna put
That's
it on
fine.
prematurely and then say all this stuff. Then like, what does all this stuff even mean? You know what I mean?
I don't know. You could have put it on and then just held her
It's
hand.
all about the pageantry, Sean.
The pageantry
I'm a
is an
fan
important
of
thing.
pageantry.
That's fair.
It's about giving a show to people.
I got to hear about
The
the honeymoon,
suspense.
and I
Yeah.
also want to break down the wedding that was, because anybody who's been following the show knows that this has been quite a build-up for many reasons. But we are going to talk about sports balls here during the show as well. We're talking NBA, NHL next segment, as the Jayhawks have another NBA champion, and as you said, a snub.
Snub. Yeah, Kevin McCullough, snub for MVP. I really thought he was going to get it. I thought he had a chance. Congratulations to the New York Knicks for the first time in 53 years. They're NBA Finals champions. The whole city of New York is, I believe it's still standing.
Oh, my God.
Barely.
Yeah. Right.
All those videos were coming out of like all the parties going on in the streets. It just it looked awesome, honestly.
You have to give me credit, though, because I said there's value in the Knicks to win this series. I said next year, if it's the same matchup, I like the Spurs.
You
but
did say
their
that.
youth kind of shone through. Also, De'Aaron Fox was terrible in
Awful.
that game where they blew a 29-point lead.
Yeah.
So there's that. Anyway, so a little professional sports chatter after that. Nick Springer from the Kansas City Sports Network. He was here last week. He actually was here on Tuesday last week because we had KU baseball on Monday, and he was here for my Top 12 Tuesday segment, which was very, very fun.
You did a
Enjoyed
Top 12
that.
Tuesday.
I did. It was nice. It
I
was kind of
saw
nice
that.
having you not be here.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were going to do. It was something about the lake. I don't know.
Yes.
I didn't pay attention at all.
I found out during
I
that-
tried to. The whole reason I took this honeymoon is just so I could have a week away from listening to Sean's voice.
That's fair. That's fair. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. But on my Top 12 Tuesday, which was about top 12 things about going to the lake,
Sure.
Springer told me in the middle of this segment that he doesn't get in water, or he's not a water guy.
What?
I'm like, I picked the worst possible guest to have.
No wonder
for
he
this.
smells so bad. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. He says he'll do pools, but he's not a water guy.
Not a lake guy.
Which he also doesn't do roller coasters, which I appreciated.
Question: why'd you do 12?
because you weren't here, so I can do what I want.
That's fair.
Yeah. I did still have some honorable mentions, actually, too. So Top 12 Tuesday, it had a nice ring to it. Nick Springer will come on to talk about stuff. And then we're talking a little Darren Peterson after that. And I know that Dan has some news regarding the Big 12, the whole Brendan Sorsby fiasco. And we got to talk World Cup as well, man. Have you at least seen on socials the support that Lawrence has given Algeria? Because it's been awesome.
It's been a beautiful marriage of the two most unlikely of communities coming together.
More so than you and Piper.
I know. It's amazing. Yeah, Algeria, Lawrence has really embraced them, and it's kind of caught some national attention as well. Plus, you completely skipped over this because you weren't able to do this last week, or Sports Stock Market. We're doing Case of the Mondays.
That's right. Case of the Mondays. You're right. We didn't have, oh my God.
You didn't do Case of the Mondays or Sports Stock Market.
That's right. And that wasn't a stab at you. That's just kind of how it worked out. Last Monday was weird because we had the resumption of the KU baseball game, and then Elijah and I were on live for the last hour to recap that game and hear from Fitz and all those guys.
Question. Did you have Elijah on the show at all yesterday or last week?
Nah, he refused.
Come on.
He refused.
The people don't know what he looks like.
I know. Elijah, you need to showcase your locks.
Yeah.
One of these times. He says no thanks.
Beautiful hair. It's meant for the camera.
So, I want to hear Honeymoon, but I've been holding on to something, and I teased this on Friday. Elijah was here. I, as everybody who's been watching the show knows, was in charge of officiating your wedding.
You were.
I did. And my wife helped me. We put together a script. I felt like I answered the bell. In terms of officiating. It was a great time. In fact, I did so well in the eyes of Daniel and his new bride that I did not get a seat at his reception. Literally, my wife and I walk over to the reception building. We walk in, and I'm looking through 19 tables worth of guests. Our names are not on there. He asked me if I would officiate his wedding. I said yes. I feel like it went well. We get to the reception hall. There is not a seat for us. I don't want to hear this.
I never said you were invited to the reception.
So we had to kind of like walk around in circles. Like I'm sitting there to Caitlin. I'm like, well, I guess we'll go to the bar. So we went and we got a beer. We're like, what are we supposed to do? So I obviously wanted to tell you immediately. Like I wanted to go up and immediately say, you didn't give me a seat at your wedding.
I was wondering why you were sitting so far back.
Interesting, huh? So
I invited you to the wedding. I did not invite you to the reception.
That's fair, exactly. But I told everybody. I told absolutely everybody. Like I didn't tell you. Caitlin was like, no, it's his wedding day. Don't tell him. I'm like, if I make it to 9 p.m. tonight without telling him, then I'll be very proud of me because I'm going to tell him.
You did tell me.
I told you at like 11:30 at the bar.
No. You told me it was before I put my tie on my head. So it was like probably like 8:30.
Oh, really? I thought I didn't tell you. No, I didn't tell you until
you
the
held
bar.
on to it for a surprisingly.
I did. There goes the football. That football has been wobbly all day. Anyway, so we finally decide to take a seat because we had some openings. There were some openings, to your point, in the very back.
Yes.
For tables 18 and 19,
yep.
Which there's, 10 people per table? So at best, we're the 180th most important people there. So 18th and 19th, we're like, I guess we'll add a couple more tables.
Yeah.
Because there might be some people, flying in from Jacksonville or something that make it at the last second.
No. My uncle, he was at like table 3. He was up there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow,
he flew in from Jacksonville.
Great. We go back there, and it's as lonely as you can get because there's like nobody at our table. So we're sitting there like trying to scout out, I know some guys from the bachelor party, essentially getting on my knees, begging somebody to take us in for a table because despite the fact that I officiated this wedding, I get and don't even have a seat.
Yeah.
So that was a real bummer. But to get back to what I made sure everybody knew about it. I mean, I told your sister, I told your dad, I told the best man, I told the maid of honor, all within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, people are going to know about this. I didn't say anything to Piper. Piper was the one person I wasn't going to say anything to.
That's good. That's nice.
But she found out. Did she tell you at some point?
I think maybe.
Because at like 6:30, I think she realized that we were sitting back there, essentially not quite in the bathroom, but essentially in the bathroom was where our table was.
Right next to the bathroom.
So we didn't get a seat. And
was there food left for you?
I hope it's okay that we ate because obviously we weren't accounted for.
It's fine. It's okay. Did you get seconds?
I did get seconds.
See, that's where I draw the line.
I can slip you a 20 if you need me to, because I'm up there, loading pulled pork on my plate. I'm thinking, man, they didn't even pay for me to have this plate, but I'm helping myself. I'm like, I guess I'll hang around and eat.
Can I explain myself, by the way? I have an explanation as to why you didn't have a seat. It's because I didn't want you there.
That's fair.
No,
okay.
that's not true. That's not. No, that's not true. So you're in a weird spot because you were officiating the wedding.
I don't know that I want to hear what happened was.
So we had molded over in terms of whether or not you and Caitlin would sit at the front with the bridal party. Which that would make sense.
What?
Versus being sat out in the open.
Good. So you found a happy medium.
So we found a happy medium where you just didn't have a seat.
Perfect.
But we kind of put you to the side. We said, all right, well, let's figure out everyone else first, and then we'll figure out where to place Sean and Caitlin. And then we just didn't. Did you put a seating chart at your wedding?
Yes.
How hard was that for you?
Well, so we made sure to put everybody on the seating chart that was invited.
I understand, but you know how hard that is to produce a seating chart. Again, you were in a tough spot because you weren't in the bridal party, but you also weren't a regular guest.
So what you want to do?
Had thought, so when we had put out the main table, we were like, hey, we're either going to have 2 more seats or, it's going to be what it is. And then we just put it out there and it completely left our mind as to where we were going to put you.
So what you want to do
in our mind, initially, you were going to be at the long table with everyone else.
Look at the people who have RSVP'd.
Yes.
And then what you want to do is double check. Yes. And I requested songs, none of which got played.
Yeah. Okay. I actually, Lance, if you're listening, we put in like
a bunch that didn't get played.
We put in a bunch that didn't get played.
Yeah, was that? Did you guys talk about that?
He was playing like "Whip Your Hair Back and Forth" by Willow Smith. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
And us, Caitlin and I, plus all the actual invited guests, were just assuming that those were songs that you guys wanted played.
So,
but yeah, "Whip Your Hair Back and Forth."
It was very there was like he would play like one song that we requested, and then like one of his own songs. So we were like, that's. Interesting choice, Lance. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
How did you know him?
He was my former band teacher from like middle school and high school. I was a first chair trumpet, no big deal. Don't want to toot my own horn. Pun intended. He didn't play there was probably 20 songs that we had that Piper and I both requested. Not even just requests of the others, but like that we had requested that he didn't play. And so it was a little interesting where we were like, okay, he's going back and forth. He's got his own stuff, right? He's got his set in stone songs that he knows works, which a lot of them were great. And I thought he did an excellent job, but there were some songs in there that I really wanted to be played that I just didn't. So that's not anything to you.
Yes, that does suck though.
I'm very sorry that you didn't get a seat at the table. I'm glad you ate. I'll be sending you a bill in the mail for it.
Yes,
but I'm glad you ate. Also for the drinks that you provide, because we didn't account for your drinking either. So just whenever I'll send it to your address. Just give me that check whenever you can.
I only had like one beer.
Oh,
probably.
sure.
Yeah,
right. That makes sense. Again, very sorry that you did not.
You know what?
It's so hard to make a seating chart.
Just bill me for the food.
It took us like 2 hours to figure out the seating chart, and by the end of it, we're just like, we didn't know if we forgot anybody.
Have you and Piper since discussed this? And did anybody else get left off, or was it only us two?
There was one other person that got left off. His name was Bryce, and he wound up finding a table because he came by himself.
Okay. Shout out to Bryce, man. I'll get you a beer next time.
Yeah. Bryce, good guy. My old high school quarterback, Bryce Erickson. So again, you were in a weird spot where we kind of put you to the side. We said, all right, well, Sean and Caitlin, we'll figure them out because either they're going to be at the front or they're going to be somewhere else. And then we figured everyone else out. And then by the time we got everyone else figured out, we were just so done with the seating chart. We're just like, all right, that's it. We're just throwing it, and we're going to print it off, and we're going to put it out there. And then you just got forgotten about.
It is
which
difficult.
You are a forgettable person.
Yes, and that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good that we got
That's what I always
about.
say to people. I said, no, you've probably met him before, but he's just so forgettable.
Just rest assured, I didn't ever have to worry about walking a long ways to the bathroom because I was essentially right there.
And that's what I thought. I knew you have a weak bladder, and I knew that you would have to, just keep on running back and forth. I get it.
No. It was in reality, awesome wedding. The weather held off. It wasn't too hot.
Yeah.
Which I'm a sweater. You were a ridiculous sweater.
I'm a big sweater.
So we did well. I mean, there's a nice little breeze as well. The reception was great. Got a chance to experience E-Town, which was a lot of fun. Went to Town Royal, went to Bourbon Cowboy.
Yeah,
is that what it
went to
was?
Bourbon Cowboy on Friday for karaoke night.
The most clutch thing was when we were at Town Royal after the reception, 2 separate food runs made by friends of the couple.
Oh, shout out Calvin.
Calvin I spoke to for a while.
Guy.
And
have you met him before?
No, that was the first time.
Oh my gosh, the best.
First time.
Salt of the earth.
Great guy. He ran and got Taco Bell, and maybe his wife or maybe it was somebody else went and late, like an hour later, got McDonald's.
Yes.
So I'm like, like all the food groups are covered.
Yes. Shout out to Calvin and Amanda.
Yeah.
Good salt of the earth people.
Yes.
Anybody in the Discord is Bourbon Jayhawk. He's kind of big in Vernon's thing. But yeah, good guy. Went to high school with him. I absolutely love Calvin. That was a clutch move by him getting
my God.
Taco Bell at the end of the night,
Absolutely.
bringing it to Town Royal.
Totally. Caitlin and I had a chance to hit coffee shop. The day of the wedding, we hit some coffee shop. She liked it so much. We went on the way out of town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went on the way out of town.
Great local coffee shop.
Yes. How many locations?
One
location from Emporia to
Emporia.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, man. So the wedding weekend I thought was great. What were some of your favorite parts? And then got to roll us through the honeymoon.
Yeah, man. The wedding was fantastic. Beautiful venue. Shout out to Sean for performing it or officiating it is probably the right word to use.
Marrying you guys.
You did an excellent job. I talked to your wife, by the way. She said that you wrote about 30% of it before, and then the day before you wrote the next 70%.
That's about right. I told you, man. It's like the Friends reference.
Yeah.
I said this. It's like where it's Chandler's your friend. He might be a little late, but he'll be there for you. And that was me. I had a good
70%
little
of your work the day before.
Work well under pressure, man. Put that on my resume.
You did. I had many people say that. Come up to me and said that Sean did
That's awesome.
He shot par. He did fine.
people were very kind to me after, and hey, we got it done. That's what counts.
Yeah, you did an excellent job.
Efficient.
So yes,
dude. I ran into Andy Flower at the baseball game on Monday.
No kidding.
And he was asking about. I was correct, by the way. He said when he sent in that mailbag question a few weeks ago, could I beat the 12 or 15? He did mean shorter.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You were shorter, for sure.
I was shorter than the 15. I don't think I was shorter than 12. At one point, I looked down, and it was 417 because I was worried that I was blowing through it.
Oh.
And it was 417, and I'm like, okay, good. Like, I've actually been, not completely making this a 30-second long ordeal. But
so you were right at like the 13, 14-minute area?
I think so.
I honestly kind of blacked out during that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of judge that whenever you're the guy up there.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I think you did a great job.
Guffler Mansion, man. Shout outs.
Beautiful.
It was fun.
Beautiful location. Beautiful. Yeah, the weather held off. It was supposed to be rainy all day. So that was nice. You probably know this. There was probably 50 people there I just didn't get a chance to talk to.
Oh, really?
Because it's impossible to talk to
your
everybody.
Rounds or whatever?
I tried to. I was bouncing around, and I kept on, just getting looped into and not that it's a bad thing, but I just kept on getting looped into conversations with people just for probably longer than I should have.
Right.
Because that's just how I
and
do
honestly,
it. You know
it's
what I
probably
mean?
a blessing that. No offense, I love everybody who went to my wedding, but sometimes it's like this is exhausting.
No, I know.
I'm going to go cower in the corner and take a couple beers. And,
It really I was like I didn't have time to drink really at the beginning. Like I was like bouncing around, just talking to everybody, and I was talking to Piper afterwards. I was like, man, yeah, like they drove in from Wichita, like these guys drove in from KC. I was like, I didn't get a chance to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like,
all right. People understand.
Yeah, I get it. It's so hard to talk to everybody. I mean, I think I talked to Elijah maybe for 20 seconds. Like you actually came up to the table and said you were leaving. I was like, man, I didn't even get to talk to you. Like I was like, because it's so hard. It's so hard to talk to everybody. But thanks to everybody who came. That was, it was a lot of fun. We actually had a law firm there of Springer, Greenstein, and Lotta.
That's right.
Invited those guys out. So that was nice. Little KU media out there at the wedding. That was fun. But yeah, fun. I thought everything was great. The reception was great. My dad was out there dancing. He was,
man.
And then my friend Mackenzie made shirts with a baby picture.
Oh, Mackenzie made those? That's cool. I know I had one, but I gave it to Keely because Keely didn't have one.
Sure. That makes sense.
So I was like, I want one, but Keely
Yeah, I think she made like 20, and then like people were just getting them like hotcakes. But I managed to get one, and Piper managed to get one too. But they had a picture of me in 2nd grade, and I think a picture of Piper in like 1st grade or something like that on them, and it said the court rights. That was fun. That's and then went out to Town Royal afterwards. It was great. And then the honeymoon.
For sure.
I mean, oh my gosh, you've been to an all-inclusive before,
I've been to
correct?
one, but not one in Mexico, which is who does it best, if I'm not mistaken.
So it was...
I've only been on one ever, and it's like literally my being is an all-inclusive.
Yeah. Like, I finally get what the New York Jets have been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
get me to Cancun.
Get me to Cancun.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I felt like I felt like a part of a losing football team when I was out there. I was like, this is nice. You know, I would rather be here than being in the NFL playoffs right now.
Right.
It was really great. It was beautiful. The weather was pretty good the entire time. Little rainy for the first couple of days. You know, it's kind of weird because like we felt ourselves getting kind of bored, but it was also nice though because there was a couple of days where we just didn't do a damn thing.
It's great.
I mean, we slept in a little bit, woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, rolled out of bed. You're like, I haven't been able to do this in years.
Yeah.
Then I was like, what? All right, well, I'm out of bed at 10 o'clock. What do I have to do today? Well, I got to eat lunch. And then after that, I got to eat dinner.
Right.
And then after that, I have nothing else to do. We just laid on the beach, went to the pool, drank some pina coladas.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful time. Thursday, we actually went out to see one of the 7 wonders of the world. It was Chichen Itza, the Mayan ruins.
That had to be gorgeous.
It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible, but it was pouring rain the entire time. And I forgot to bring a change of... So I brought swim trunks because we also went to this thing called a cenote, which is a big hole in the ground. And what they would do, the Mayans, they would take people and use them as human sacrifices and throw them into the cenote and kill them to make it rain. Thankfully, it was raining that day, so we were in the clear.
Didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do that.
Right.
That was nice, but we still jumped in anyway at a safer distance, about 9 feet. They had a little deck that you could jump out and swim in. It was absolutely great. I think I got bit by a fish while I was out there too.
Nice.
But no, it was a lot of fun, man. And I was just soaking wet. It was like a 2.5-hour drive back to the resort. That was
but that shower probably hit different.
Shower was great. The shower was great. But yeah, the honeymoon was just unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Met a lot of cool people, met a lot of, interesting people
6
from
nights?
kind of all around. Yeah, 6. I think it was 6 nights, 6 days, 5 nights, I believe. It was Monday through Sunday.
Okay.
Got there Monday day, left Sunday around like 11 o'clock. So yeah, it worked out great, man. I would highly recommend Cancun. Shout out to the Dreams Riviera. Beautiful, beautiful resort. But yeah, now I'm back. I'm kind of glad to be back, kind of in the routine again. Just
totally
back here on the show with a new piece of jewelry.
Well, you're going to be thrilled next week, where I will be gone.
Oh, I
you
can't
get to
wait.
roll as one unit.
Did you?
It'd be fantastic.
Yes. For the wedding, where were you all day on the wedding? Were you just out coffee shop?
So we went to the coffee shop. You guys apparently played pickleball?
I was trying to find you.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't find you anywhere.
No, we went to the coffee shop. I was putting some finishing touches on the ceremony.
Okay, that makes sense.
You gotta do it. And
see,
then
day of is when you finished.
I read through it. Well, I did a ton on the drive. I did the ton the night before and the drive to Emporia on Friday.
Sure.
And then what I wanted to make sure we had down Friday before the rehearsal was, okay, I want to at least get down the order of events because I knew I wasn't going to go through it, but it's like, okay, we got to do the rings and, the I do's and all that. So I got all that, but then I knew that I was going to have time Saturday before the ceremony at 4 to put some finishing touches. So we went to the coffee shop and, and enjoyed it. And then I went for a little run down Commercial Street, I believe it is.
Commercial Street.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. And then went back, showered, just kind of... Wedding days are fun because you don't really have anything to do. You're just waiting for the wedding.
It's kind of nice. I was just kind of hanging out all day. What'd you think of Town Royal?
Oh, I loved it.
Isn't it great?
I love it, man.
That's
all I need.
So
I played some pool with Dalton and Kayla, man. Great people.
Yeah, you
and then also lost to your mom.
You
in doubles.
lost to my mom.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom's kind of nasty at pool.
She's pretty good.
She used to be she used to be really. I don't know if she doesn't play a lot anymore. I remember when I was a kid, she would just. Yeah. I mean, she would kill me in pool. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, she's good. Cece and I lost to Dalton, and and Teresa, which,
that's fun.
That
See,
I tried had some great, the night before at Town Royal, had some great pool games against Dalton, and I don't remember who else it was.
I remember,
maybe?
I tried to explain it to you. Town Royal. You said, "What's it most like?" I said, "It's most like Louise's West, but it's not."
Right. It's different, but they do have the one pool table. It's got good vibes, and what I like more about it than Louise's West is the bar itself.
Yeah.
Louise's West just has one long bar, and this has the wraparound.
The wraparound, and that's all it is. And
for sure.
A little bit of standing room, which is nice.
No, I totally would. I'd drive back to Emporia to hit that bar out.
No,
and Bourbon Cowboy too.
Bourbon's great.
Yeah.
The reason I like Town Royal is because I drink for free there.
That's
still.
True. That's
because I worked there a few years ago, and
yes.
I still know a lot of the people who kind of run the show.
Plus
so that's
wedding
nice.
Weekend. Yeah,
it's my wedding weekend, so that was nice too. But Bourbon Cowboy's great. That was always a good time, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm
glad.
I
saw the majority of Emporia. On my run, I even saw the zoo. So I'm like, man, look at this.
You went to the zoo?
I didn't go to the zoo, but I ran past the zoo. Yeah.
There's a lot of, I think there's like some stray dogs. There's some birds. I think pigeons. I think they have a pigeon exhibit.
Yeah.
Some squirrels that are running around. So it's a good zoo.
Bunny rabbits.
Yeah, it's nice.
Bunny rabbits, some lizards maybe. Yeah, that's quality stuff at the zoo. It was a great wedding weekend, and we're back now for a week. We are at full. How do you say full power?
Strength?
Full strength, full life.
Yeah,
full strength. We're
back, and we're gonna be doing a lot. The stupid segments are back.
Stupid segments are back. Yep. I know. Rest in peace to the Top 12 Tuesday. Maybe when you're in London, I'll do another Top 12. But probably back to regularly scheduled programming this week. All right. After this, we're going to talk a little sports, a little NBA, little NHL, as Rock Chalk Sports is back at full strength this week. Thanks to everybody who's been tuning in for quite some time. Thanks to everybody listening on ESPN Kansas City and watching KansasNation.com. Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports. Got a full show coming up for you as we've got some NBA chatter, NHL as well. We're going to have Nick Springer on very soon, plus Case of the Mondays segment. Can you give us a little teaser on Case of the Mondays? Because like you said, we didn't get to that last week with Kansas baseball.
Yeah, I have 2 World Cup things on there. I also have something about Alabama baseball. Interesting little tidbit about a former coach of theirs who is not along for the ride due to his own misdeeds, if you will.
Misdeeds, nice.
Yeah, man, I'm glad Case of the Mondays is back. It's kind of tough. On my honeymoon, I spent a lot of time off social media.
Yeah.
I watched the NBA games. I watched America in the World Cup. Mm-hmm. But I stayed off Twitter and Instagram and everything, so I have no idea what happened this past week in the world.
So you're well equipped to host a sports talk show right
Absolutely. Now. Well, that's the thing. I watched the Knicks win. I watched the Knicks win. I last night I watched the Canes win the Stanley Cup final. That was great too. So I watched what was on TV, but I just stayed off social media just to kind of touch grass or touch sand a little bit, if you will, because I was on the beach.
Because of the sand, because of the beach thing. Nice. Well done.
That? Thank you.
Well done. I support it though. It was. I was thinking about this yesterday. I spent more time on obviously the Kansas Nation socials.
Sure.
But because of that, I spent less time on my own, and I was like, this is kind of nice.
Right? No, that's the thing. I spent
I'm scrolling through and everything's sports, and then I'm like, I haven't been on my own Instagram in over a week.
Great.
It's kind of nice.
It's absolutely that's my favorite thing about it. I actually back in January, I think I took my own personal Instagram and my own personal Twitter off my phone because social media is a big part of this job for me. So I would spend all day on the Kansas Nation socials, and then I would get off, and then I would just go right on my own. And I was spending 12 hours a day on my phone. I was like, I need to take a step back. So I took my own off, and the Kansas Nation one is all sports all the time, and it's just the best. That's exactly what I need, and that's exactly what you need to essentially host a sports show.
Totally.
I don't care what this person who I went to high school with is.
Right.
Oh, they're having a kid. Oh, big deal. I don't care about that. I want to know what happened in La Liga. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, fair. So here we go. We're back, and we're talking about things that are going on. The New York Knicks are NBA Finals champions. They've done that for the first time since 1973. The city of New York, as you said, still standing. It's not like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, where that was a disaster. I haven't heard anything like that.
Yeah, it was like the end of Fight Club. They just like burned down the whole city.
Terrible. But the Spurs, despite leading, and I know you've got a good nugget on this, for the majority of the finals, despite, I think it's fair to say they have more talent, right? Is that fair? I mean, maybe we should stop saying that, though, because the Knicks have guys.
I think
they're younger.
Okay, when you say more talent,
they have guys who have higher ceilings.
Yes, I'll say, yeah.
But the floor of all of the Knicks players is still a very good NBA player.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you look at, like, I don't know why Dylan Harper wasn't starting the entire time. That's just actually insane to me because, like, you could take out Devin Vassell right away and plug in Dylan Harper.
Was fine, though. He had 5 threes in that game on Wednesday, whenever it was.
Sure, but he had 12 points.
Fox killed him in the
Fox was terrible. Stephon
point.
Castle was terrible in that last game, too.
Yeah, he was bad in game 4
But Stephon Castle, again, like you said, very, very high ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? I think Dylan Harper, incredibly high ceiling. I think that wasn't enough guys maybe deeper on the bench for the San Antonio Spurs as opposed to the New York Knicks, right? Landry Shamet, I thought was going to be really good. He actually wound up having a couple of stinkers in this one as well. But, like, you look at the starting 5 for the Knicks, I think that starting 5 is substantially better than the starting 5 for the Spurs. I mean, who's the 5th best starter for the Spurs?
Everybody's in their prime for the Knicks right now.
You're right. They're all like 28, 29.
Yeah, they're all that age.
Yeah.
And Anunoby played like one of the best. I gave a nugget last week after the comeback. Anunoby, after he hit 7 threes and scored 33 in Game 4 as part of that comeback, had the block and then had the game-winning tip-in. He became just the 5th player in NBA Finals history to, in a 2-game span, score 60 points and hit 10 threes. As he had 28 points and 3 threes in Game 3, 33 points and 7 threes in Game 4. The other 4 guys who have gone 60 with 10 threes in 2 NBA Finals games back-to-back were Steph Curry, Kobe, Klay Thompson, somebody else. Don't remember who the 4th one was. But, yeah, it was incredibly impressive.
Let me take a guess.
I think I've got it in my notes somewhere.
Kawhi? No.
It wasn't Kawhi. That's a solid guess.
That's a good guess. Who would it have been?
Anyway, somebody. I don't know. I don't think it was MJ. It was somebody.
Oh, like this goes like way back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
So Steph, Klay, Kobe, Reggie Miller. That's who it was.
Sure.
Steph, Klay, Kobe, Reggie Miller. 60 points, 10 threes in a 2-game span. So yeah, Anunoby played out of his mind. He could have gotten MVP. Brunson gets it. Brunson is playing really well.
You're not going to not give it to Brunson.
Yeah,
he had 45.
Yeah, that's fair.
In Game 5.
That's fair. Again, it was probably going to beat Brunson if the Knicks won. Anyway, but I don't want to stat. He obviously scored 36 in Game 4 and 45 in Game 5. So yeah, it's all Brunson. But Anunoby had an MVP caliber performance, I guess, in that as they went in 5. The Spurs just looked like a young team. That's what it was, right? And that's why I liked the Knicks' value from the start of the series was, and I said if this is played next year, the Spurs I think would beat them, but Wemby wasn't efficient, and again, credit the veterans of the Knicks for making him not play his best basketball. And like you said, Castle, while very good, majority of the season wasn't spectacular. Fox had some crucial blunders at the end of Game 3 when they blew it, or Game 4 on Wednesday when they blew it. So yeah, there's a lot of factors, but first time since '73 they get it done. And these guys who have played together so much, the 3 Villanova guys, and Cat's been around the block for a while.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Hart was there for the 16 championship, but Brunson and Mikal Bridges were there for the 18. So all 3 of them were there for 16. But it was only Brunson and Bridges who were there for 18 too. Josh Hart had already gone to the league. I think he graduated in 17.
Hart only got 1.
Back with Villanova.
Yeah,
but it's still cool.
Both
I mean, that in and of itself is a great story. I mean, you talk about Karl Anthony
Case
Towns.
for Mondays for Dante DiVincenzo.
Oh, I know, right?
As he was on that 18 team.
Yeah.
And he was a part of the Cat trade.
That's right.
So,
Of course he was. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, just another incredible story. But, he lost his mom and, went through all that adversity, out there in Minnesota and finally able to get one. And he did such a good job. I feel like maybe the unsung hero of this was probably also Mitchell Robinson, too, because he did such a good job. I mean, you talk about, I think it was
longest tenured Knick.
Is that right?
I believe so.
I think it was Game 4, the one that the Knicks won. It was 107 to 106. Cat fouled he had like 4 fouls in the third, and you had to have Mitchell Robinson in there for like 20 straight minutes because Cat just couldn't get back into the game. It was like from like late second to like mid fourth, where it's just Mitchell Robinson going up against Victor Wembanyama, and he did such a good job on the defensive side of the ball against Victor Wembanyama that I feel like he's probably the unsung hero of that, just because of the fact that he's your backup center and he has to go up against probably the highest ceiling player that we'll ever see in NBA history with Victor Wembanyama, right? And the fact that they were so dominant throughout this entire playoffs, right? I mean, I have the numbers here. You know how many games they lost this entire playoffs? 3.
Yeah.
They lost. They won their first game against the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs, 113-102. Then they lost 2 in a row to the Hawks, 107-106, then 109-108. They were down 2-1.
So those were both by 1 point?
Yes.
Wow.
They were down 2-1
Yeah.
to start off the playoffs, and then they didn't lose another game until game 3 of the finals.
Yeah.
They
so that's
swept
13 straight wins, right?
13 is
Or
1,
11.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
No, it's
9,
13.
10, 11, 12, 13 straight wins.
Yeah.
They swept the 76ers. They swept the Cavaliers. They won the first 2 against the Spurs in San Antonio. Then they weirdly lost that first one in New York. I'm actually kind of, I don't know. I said this. It's good for the NBA. It's good for sports in general when New York teams are good. Right? I think this is good for the NBA that the Knicks won. I was actually kind of rooting for them because the Spurs got one in like 2014. Was that their last one? I think it was 2014 or whatever.
Sounds right.
Kawhi was the MVP. That's fine. Knicks haven't won one since 1973. That's a basketball town. Like, people think, when you think about New York, you think about, oh, well, yeah, they have the Yankees, and, you know, they're all like Jets or Giants fans, and the Giants, they won 2, obviously, against Tom Brady, you know, back in the 2000s, but that's a basketball town, man, and they had to watch really bad basketball for a long time. If you're counting the Nets, too, who also were in New Jersey for a little bit of time, and then now they're the Brooklyn Nets or whatever, bad basketball consistently. It's good for them. I really wish they would have won it in Madison Square Garden. If they would have won that game 3 with 115-111, that was the final score of that one. If they would have been able to close it out in MSG, I was kind of rooting for the Spurs to beat the Knicks on Saturday just so they had to go back to MSG so that they would be able to win it in
plus
MSG.
everybody likes extended series.
Well, sure.
Potential Game 7.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Those are the 2 best words in all of sports. Game 7, right? But it wasn't going to happen like that because the Knicks, I think, were just the better team. I think up and down, at least that starting 5, right, you have guys who are these grizzled veterans, right? Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, who maybe the best, I'll say this, the best free agency pickup in NBA history, probably. Was Jalen Brunson, right? They picked him up in free agency. The Mavericks didn't want anything to do with him. They were like, all right, well, yeah. Shout out to Nico, man. Nico Harrison. That's not a good. That's just yet another stain on the resume for old Nico. The Jalen Brunson was incredible, right? I mean, you even look at like Landry Shamet. He was such a nice part on the bench. Yeah, I said he had a couple of stinkers, but OG Anunoby was so much fun to watch too. He's just a grinded out, tough, gritty guy. Him and Josh Hart remind me of each other. Different players, but just the guys who do the dirty work. You know what I mean? Like
Sprinters.
that. Josh Hart. What was it, game 2 or whatever, where he had 3 points, 15 rebounds or something like that? He's 6'4". There's no reason that Josh Hart should be getting in there and getting
his
15
over-unders
rebounds.
are like consistently 10.5. It's like, this guy's not very big.
No, it's not. And it's just, it doesn't make sense, but he's just one of those guys, he just grits it out. Same with OG Anunoby, right? He was so much fun to watch that entire series. And I think, like to your point, the Spurs were just, you said something great, which was, if this series were to happen next year, the Spurs win it in 4 or 5, because you have another year of experience under Stephon Castle, under Victor Wembanyama, right? Under Devin Vassell, under De'Aaron Fox. Even though De'Aaron Fox is probably the oldest one, I think he's probably the oldest one on the roster. Well, no, that's not true because they have Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah,
but
rotation guys.
Rotation guys is what I mean, right? Another year of experience, and the fact that they, kind of, I don't know, grown into each other as players, right? I mean, the Knicks weren't going to get this done with the team that they have 3 years ago, right? But because of the fact that all these guys are virtually in their 30s, they've all been around the block a time or two, and they've all come together and played as a team, and they're the more experienced team. I mean, you look at every single game. I mean, we have the stat. I can't remember if you said it or not. The Spurs led for 72% of the NBA Finals, and they lost in 5 games.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. They were down. The Spurs were up 29 points in the third quarter.
The thing about the Knicks guys that we talked about, the vets who are all in their prime, they're just all winners. I mean, you mentioned Hart and Anunoby. Brunson, all he's done is win. He won 2 NCAA titles.
Right.
As did Bridges. And, Brunson undersized. It's like, maybe people take too much stock in size of guards when you look at that, honestly. I mean, how many great little guards have we had here at KU that didn't, in our opinion, get fair shakes in the NBA?
Sharon.
And, I mean
Devon Dotson.
Frank. I mean, these guys, they got a little bit.
Well, Devontae was 6'3".
A little bit of run, but not a lot. And, it's a win for the shorter guys in the NBA because Brunson, is ridiculously talented and can make things happen, even though he doesn't have the height of some of the best guards in the NBA.
45 points in a game clincher.
Going back to their winning ways, I talked about this a ton at the end of last week because I was just amazed by it. You have a 29-point come-from-behind win. They also had a 22-point come-from-behind win against the Cavs. And like you said, that was a part of that 13-game win streak for the Knicks, as was the game that they were up on the Hawks 83-36 at halftime.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was just a game. I thought that was just, every dog has his day. The Hawks didn't have it. The Knicks move on.
You knew the Hawks weren't going to do it. I mean, they're the Hawks.
It's like, the Knicks are hitting everything. But maybe we should have read more into that because it's like, wow, this team's a wagon. And honestly, I think the Knicks might have looked back at that game and said, hey, we are actually capable of being the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And they were the 3 seed, if I'm not mistaken,
I think
in the East, and the Spurs were the 2 seed in the West, and the Knicks just bludgeoned them.
That's the most dominant playoff performance we've seen from a team maybe ever. Right? Winning 13 straight.
Yeah, impressive.
I mean, you only lost one game in the finals.
So what, they go 16-3? I mean, I'm not going to say ever because there have been some monster.
I mean, nobody's ever done a full sweep.
We need to look that up. I mean, obviously the most impressive run in the regular season was the Warriors. They didn't get it done, but you go back to those Bulls teams, and
that's true. But you look at also easiness too. Like I said this, and hand up, I was wrong. I said congratulations to whoever wins the Western Conference Finals. You are going to win the NBA Finals. You do love
saying that
because the East was weak. The Cavs are not a good team. The 76ers are not a great team, right? The Hawks, I mean, nobody thought the Hawks could really do anything in the playoffs, right? They made it there. Congratulations, right? But after watching the Spurs and the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, I mean, they were just beating the hell out of each other. And I think right away you looked at that and you said, okay, well, one of these two teams, whoever makes it out of the Western Conference Finals, they're going to steamroll the Knicks.
Boy, were you wrong.
I was. Hand up. I was wrong.
Outscored its opponents by a postseason record 283 points. I do want to pull this up really quick just because we're talking about it. But let's see. Yeah, there's a good article on Bleacher Report that's basically talking about how dominant the Knicks were compared to some other. Bringing up the 70-71 Bucks. Let's see where they rank the Knicks, because this is recently, and I'll credit this out. Okay, the 0-1 Lakers. 0-1 Lakers, 11-0. They faced 3 teams that finished the regular season with between 50 and 58 wins, and they went 11-0.
That's crazy.
Against them.
Okay.
Didn't go undefeated because AI and the Sixers beat them in Game 1 of the finals.
Right.
But, yeah, still really impressive.
Okay,
the 96 Bulls are number 2. 17 Warriors are number 3. Knicks are 5, 2026 New York Knicks. Shout out to Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report, who has written this article and ranked these teams.
Shout out, man.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I don't know. It was fun to watch. I'm glad for the Knicks. I'm truly happy. Now, do I want them to win next year? Absolutely not. Because A, I don't like repeats, and B, I think they got their one. That's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, if there's a New York team that starts a dynasty, that's when I start to hate them.
Carolina Hurricanes win the NHL.
Yeah, they do.
Shout out to them.
Shout out.
Again, another case of the Mondays for Canada.
Yeah, first time in 20 years. They won it back in 2006. Rod Brind'Amour, their head coach, not only won it as a head coach this year, but also was the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes back in 2006 when they won it the last time. Their second Stanley Cup victory. That was really fun. A really fun game to watch yesterday. The Las Vegas Knights, I hate their jerseys. That like ugly mustard, like honey mustard yellow, disgusting. Also, I don't like new teams. Like it's Vegas.
Isn't it the same color scheme as UCF essentially?
No, but it's different Pantone.
I see.
It
different
looks,
Pantone. Okay. We should do top 10 Pantones.
Ooh, we should. That's
a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. But it looked like baby poop. Like that's what that yellow looks like. It's not a flattering color by any sense of the imagination. Also, I don't like the Vegas Knights because they're brand new, and then they won it like a year after they were.
Yeah, but they're not brand new anymore, are they?
I mean, kind of.
Was
it 2017?
I mean, that's been 10 years. Yeah, 2017. Wow.
That's
you're
a
never right when you
crazy
speculate.
pull.
You are never
That's a
right when you
crazy
just pull a
pull.
number out
I can't
like
believe
that.
I was right
well
about that.
done.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the Vegas Knights. I don't like the fact that they're in Vegas. The Carolina Hurricanes feel like they've been around forever. It feels like they're not.
I feel like they were always terrible when I was growing up. But obviously they won it in 06. So.
Who's the white-haired, long-haired guy who used to always come on ESPN? You said it the other day.
Oh, Barry Melrose.
Barry Melrose.
Yeah.
Shout out to Barry Melrose. That was.
Shout out.
What a guy. But no, that was fun too. So shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes for winning the Stanley Cup final. I like the fact that in hockey, I think they're probably the only ones who do this. In hockey, they're the only ones who give the trophy to the players first.
Really?
Because like the NBA Finals, who did Adam Silver give the Larry O'Brien trophy to first?
Was it Mike Brown?
It was James Dolan.
It was James Dolan. All right.
Right? NFL, Super Bowl.
You should.
What happens? What happens? What do? They hand it straight to Clark Hunt.
Yeah.
Or whoever owner. I don't know who owns the Seahawks, but they handed it to that guy first. Stanley Cup. They said, "Hey, here, give it to the players." By the way, their goalie was incredible.
Yeah.
That's Bussy, I think was his name. No relation to Alec Bussy.
24/7 Sports.
24/7 Sports, Iowa State. It's spelled different. Bussi, I believe is the way it's spelled.
Yes.
He was awesome. All series long, all playoffs long. So
yeah undrafted rookie. So good for him.
Shout out, man.
NHL. Maybe it'll be a Canadian team next year. Probably not if they continue on this. But
90. Wait, hold on. 93 last time.
Do you want me to look this up again? I don't know. It was in the 90. Yes, I think we said 93 a couple weeks ago.
I think I was right about that too.
Canadian team.
Am I ever wrong?
I don't know.
Am I ever wrong?
Am I crazy?
Am I crazy?
It was 93, the Montreal Canadiens.
Come on. That's hockey talk, baby.
That's less impressive because we just talked about that like 9 days ago. But still.
I know my hockey.
Done for you. You're back and you're.
I know my hockey.
You're on top.
By the way, the Vegas Knights, they completely botched they were down 1-0. They completely botched a power play.
Yeah.
Right Game after 6. Carolina was on a power
play. They also blew a lead in Game 5 at Carolina when you're feeling good, and then they gave up 4 straight goals, and Hurricanes won that 4-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on Hurricanes. We're going to talk Men's College World Series a little bit later to catch you up to date on that. Of course, KU baseball fell just shy of making Omaha in the Men's College World Series, so that was a bummer. But still some good action that we'll chat about a little bit later. We're also going to have Nick Springer, Case of the Monday segment, and a lot more. Thanks to everybody who's watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, listening on ESPN's Kansas City, and watching on KansasNation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright, back with you for Rock Chalk Sports. What are you doing over there?
Looking for
a cheat sheet.
Yeah,
cheat sheet sounds good. This is our communicative
direction. Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of pointing at each other.
It's not suitable for video. But yeah. Well.
No.
I didn't.
Sorry for the awkward entrance into the.
Is that new?
Yeah, that is new.
We'll explain later. Got to tell you about our friends over at Central Bank with Jayhawk Checking from Central Bank. Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card, a simple way to show school spirit every day. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. And as the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. Learn more about Jayhawk Checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. That's jayhawkchecking.com. Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. Every Monday on the show, we're joined by Nick Springer, Kansas City Sports Network.
Not simple for video.
Right? Thanks for joining us in studio. Nick Springer, who? It's Nick Springer.
What's up?
Nick, We have so much to get to today. I mean, my goodness.
Oh, I know,
Laundry list of things to talk about.
Busy time of year. But, hey, you had an opportunity to be at Dan Courtwright's wedding a couple weeks ago.
I did,
and my understanding is that you got a seat.
Right,
as well.
yeah,
So you went up to the seating chart and you saw your name. How did that feel? How did that feel?
Not only was
seeing your name as an invited guest.
Not only was I blessed with an invitation, which I was very honored to receive and attend, I also discovered that I also had the honor of getting a chair as well.
Wow, that's great.
Not everyone got a chair.
Yeah,
we made sure.
I feel extra special.
Yeah, we made sure that Nick got a chair.
Right. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
It's good to know that you were a priority.
Are you aware of it? By the way, he said he was complaining to literally everybody. I'm assuming he complained to you that he did not.
I think I was the first guy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No, immediately I went up to his dad, and then I went to his sister.
Okay.
I tried to do the right thing.
I'm pretty sure
because I told Caitlin this, and Caitlin's like, "Don't say anything to Dan. It's his wedding day," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna be able to hold it in." So, again, what I did is I went and I told everybody else. I said, I don't
think you literally told everybody else.
I did.
I explained it. I said he was in a weird spot because he was efficient. We were going to put him at the big table, but then we decided not to.
You
and we're
specifically had a table dedicated to like
leftovers
media people.
Yeah.
You know, like
media people.
Like,
yeah.
Like I just assumed he would be with us.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't, I was really confused. And then I learned that he was nowhere.
When we initially were like, oh, well, we can put him next to those guys, and we're like, oh, well, that table's full, and we're like, oh, well. Are we going to put him at the big table? We don't know. So we kind of put him off to the side, figured everyone else out. And then we're so tired after doing that, we just completely forgot to put his name on there.
Hey, honestly, listen, if you got to go to the bathroom a lot, you were in a good spot.
I said we invited him to the wedding. There was nowhere in there did it say that he was invited to the reception.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
he
showed up.
I did eat. I helped myself to some donuts, which was a nice touch. We didn't talk about
Donuts
that.
were good.
Yeah, Munchers. Munchers
was nice.
They did our cake.
I'm glad that I hit all the food groups while I was there.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Taco Bell and McDonald's.
We forgot to cut the cake.
Yeah, no, it was really weird.
The cake was good.
I know. I thought there was going to be a cake, and then there wasn't one.
Well, the plan was we had a small cake for Piper and I to cut, and it was literally like this big.
Okay.
And then everyone else got donuts.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Right. But
then we just didn't cut the cake, and now we have a full cake in our freezer right now.
But you said
that's not the worst thing.
Small.
No, it's not but it's
a small cake.
Yeah, it's a.
Also, I'm
a lot for two people.
Michelle here. I'm failing to see the issue with this situation. You got a cake.
No, I know.
Cakes are
we
sick.
still have a cake, which is great. I actually took a bite out of it yesterday.
Was it frozen still?
Or did you just
take
the whole cake and
a little bit frozen still? Yeah, I cut it. When I didn't cut it, I dug a fork into it.
How many leftover donuts did you guys have?
A lot, but Piper's parents took them to like a baby shower or something, so we actually didn't get any of the leftover donuts.
Dang.
Donuts were good.
Well, it's not, we were on our honeymoon. It's not like we were going to eat them, 10 days later or whatever.
Yeah, your first honeymoon because you have two.
Yes, got another one coming up.
Got another one coming up in London.
That's fair.
That'll be fun.
Anyway, so yeah,
But
it was.
Wedding was a good time. It was fun.
How'd you like Emporia?
I mean, I've been to Emporia before. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you stop at Brahms?
You didn't go out with us.
No, I didn't. No, I was with a couple of the media guys, and
law firm.
We hung out at the wedding. We had a great time. We saw everybody. We said our congrats and all that stuff, and then
got home at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, and then about the time that you guys were getting ready to take it to another level, Henry and Treyas looked at me, and they did the
daiquiris,
and call it good. So we
fair
came
enough.
back.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
we didn't even hit up Brahms either, which is a disaster.
That's tough. Well, you rode with two vegetarians, so that's
Treyas is not vegetarian.
Well, he's okay, yeah,
but he does have a limited right
diet, I guess.
Sure, yeah, you could phrase it that way.
So I can imagine those guys are gonna.
Well, okay, but you can have a shake. There's
sure,
no
that's
meat
fair.
in a shake.
That's true.
You can drink a shake.
Also, the entire time you were there, you guys were playing the 82-0 game, which I love.
We did spend a little bit of time doing that. Actually, what we ended up doing mostly was we played the football version, because of the football version, you can actually challenge people to.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's fun. I found
this is real nerd stuff. I love it.
I found a 32-0.
It gives you. So you create a game and then you challenge people, and then everybody gets the same team. Era and everything.
Oh,
so it's just
awesome.
It's a battle of wits. It's like who can pick the best team.
Who gets the best team
because everyone gets the same thing, right? Everyone gets the same era, same teams. It's just who can pick the best.
That's fun. I like that. I like that more.
I kind of
like
that more.
So we did that
too.
quite a bit
because
playing against somebody.
Yeah, because if you play straight up, and I just learned about this game this morning before the show.
Yeah.
But if you play straight up, then you're always going to get a good team, and it's. I mean, I guess there's a certain
Not always.
Are you
element
talking
of
about the football one?
just in general, all of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
In general, all of them. Like you're going to pick a really good player, so you're going to at least get 25
right.
wins.
I mean,
in it.
Well, there's a
I mean,
32-0 was like college basketball.
You'd have to,
and that one's fun.
You'd have to like intentionally try to be bad to not have a team that wins like 65 games.
Right. Have you gotten
like
perfect,
you have to
though?
specifically? Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've gotten it several times. Well, the thing is like
Wait, on the football
if
one.
you get on the football one, no, the football
Okay.
one's much harder to get.
Yeah.
Whatever their metric determines is like a 20-0.
Sure.
82-0 is pretty easy. All you have to do is either get Wilt or Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
and
My
you probably
favorite
win.
game like that though is the Immaculate Grid. If you guys ever played it,
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
best.
Immaculate Grid's fine.
it's for baseball though. It's best because you can find a guy that
But see,
no one's ever
I'm not
heard of.
my baseball knowledge is not that in depth.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
I
I love the Immaculate Grid for baseball. I love it for football too. There's also a new one that my buddy Cody, the best man, he sent to me today. It's the New York Times game Connections.
no.
Okay, so then it's going to be hard to explain.
Yeah.
So there's a grid of it's 4x4, and you have to determine how each row is connected,
Related to,
and it's fun. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
It's a blast.
Nick,
but it's for with NFL players.
In Dan's absence, came on the show on Tuesday last week. We had our
I
top.
did. Yeah, it was a good time.
We had our top 12 Tuesday.
Yeah.
We talked a little KU
Well, it was
baseball.
more like a top 20 Tuesday.
Yeah,
Dude,
but there's always going to be a few. There's always going to be a few.
Doesn't understand how a list works.
That's
honorable
what I said.
mentions. We always do honorable mentions.
No, he doesn't understand how a
Where
list
did
works.
top 12 come from?
No, but the thing is like it was
Top 12
actually like
Tuesday.
top 20 because then he listed like 4 things.
Honorable mentions.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
no,
There are always
no.
honorable mentions.
He was building the list and then he just lumped in a bunch of things together.
Oh yeah, I did do a few slashes.
Right, so it was
Okay,
like,
so that doesn't count.
So, like, number
right,
2.
Yeah.
He had like 17 things. It
Number
was so
2
stupid.
was like sitting in the sun / floating /
which is like
pool
those
/
aren't
beer.
even related. Those
Because
it's just totally nonsense. Yeah, no, it
top
was a-
12. I
yeah,
enjoyed it
it was-
when
yeah.
Dan was
the
out.
beauty of a top 10 is you have to draw the line somewhere.
I
of
did.
like,
I
man,
drew-
I really
I
like
drew-
that
it was
thing,
dope.
but I don't know if it's
There
my
was no
top
line
10.
drawn.
I drew a line, and you
it
know what
was-
the line looked like? It was a slash. That's how I did
there was
it.
no line drawn. It
Nick,
was-
though, in the wake of KU losing to Oklahoma, KU baseball, we have seen
Right.
some recognition. Not surprised. Interesting, kind of when you look at the roster. We didn't talk about this a ton last week, but you have guys that you don't think are going to come back, right? Like Bodie Ray, Brady Ballinger. Brady even posted something on Instagram over this weekend, like "Thank you, Jayhawk Nation" or whatever. Same with Dom Vagley. Guys that you think are going to go.
It goes back to the eligibility thing too. Like some of these guys, I honestly don't know if they still have eligibility or not. Like I'm just being honest. Like there's with the JUCO stuff, with the NCAA,
Right.
with,
Everything's so up in the air.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So when you try to speculate about guys who can come back, and Greenstein wrote a good article about this, KU, in returning a lot of guys from this year's team, could still have a really good middle of the order. MLB draft is up to 20 rounds. It was 50 forever, and then after COVID, it was 10. Or they do 5 one year? I don't remember. I think it was 10, and now it's 20. Augusto Mungarieta, a guy who I would think would be drafted in the top 20 rounds. He's a catcher, really good batting average, a lot of power. But he also could come back. As realistically could somebody like Cade Baldridge. Tyson Owens was only a sophomore. So while we expect Coach Fitz and John Coyne and everybody to go out into the JUCO realm and bring in a lot of talent,
Which they already have.
you can already see, kind of the skeleton of what a good Kansas team would be. And it would be nice seeing some recognizable faces next year, too.
Well, you would hope that one of the byproducts of having success is that players will want to stay in your program.
Right.
Like that would help a lot too. Now, obviously, this program has been built on, bringing in new players and across the board in all college sports. That is certainly a very critical part of program building is, year-to-year roster construction with guys transferring. You bring in transfers. Obviously, at the baseball level, you have, like you were mentioning, Dan or Sean, the possibility of guys getting drafted. Do guys stay? All that kind of stuff. So it adds another level to it. But yeah, I do think I think we touched on this maybe not last week, but the week before. The fact that Dan Fitzgerald and his staff have certainly earned my confidence personally that they're going to be able to build a roster. Like, I mean, they've done it for the last 3 years, and they've gotten exponentially better over the past 4 years now since he's been there. So they have my full confidence that they're going to do it again this year. I don't have any reason to believe why that they can't go out and find players and replicate the success they've had in building up guys from the lower ranks. And they got a really good JUCO pitcher, I think, last week at one point, which was cool. And there was a post by Ryan Ritter recently that indicated that he's going to be coming back to KU, which Dan Fitzgerald had talked about how he thinks he views him as a potential rotation guy. So you're talking about a guy that you may already have in line to be a starter for you next season. Mason Cook could be back. Matisse Nayrol could be back. So there's a lot of options for KU in that realm in terms of already building their roster. So you're looking at a team that I think a lot will change over the course of the coming weeks and months because there's going to be more movement in the transfer portal probably with it being already open since June 1st. You've got the College World Series still happening, so you got teams still playing. And then you've also have the MLB draft, which is going to be coming up in July. So this could be potential for a lot of movement still. But I think at the end of the day for me, and I don't know if we mentioned this or not already with you, Sean, last week, but the end of the day for me is that when you look at the landscape of the Big 12 on the college baseball side, I think at least there is a real opportunity for KU to cement themselves as a top program in the conference. When you look at what you would consider to be like the top programs in baseball right now, you think about your Texas Techs, your TCUs, your Oklahoma States. Well, Texas Tech, TCU both missing NCAA tournament this year. And Oklahoma State, they kind of floundered out in the regionals. So I think there's a real chance for KU when you look at what's been happening over the past couple seasons in terms of West Virginia and Kansas being at the top the past 2 years. There's a real chance for KU, I think, to cement themselves in that conversation to where it's not just a discussion about, hey, this team just kind of randomly, busted out for a couple years, got to the top, won the Big 12 1 year, and then, they go back to what they were before. No, I think there's a real chance here for KU to legitimize what they've done so far and to put themselves in the conversation of consistently being a top 2-3 program in the Big 12 because right now it's KU and West Virginia. It's been that way for the past 2 seasons. We'll see what TCU, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State do. Obviously, there's no more Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12, so those are 2 top programs that are out of the equation in this scenario. So there's a real chance for KU to I think, make a case that they are legitimately one of those top programs in the conference going forward. And I think there's kind of 2 ways to do that. There's 2 ways to make that happen. One is by keeping Dan Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Duh. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Keep Dan Fitzgerald.
Simple,
and
easy to do.
Continue to, increase funding on the NIL side, increase, whatever he needs, staff-wise, whatever to continue his goal and his mission. And then the other side is on the administrative side, which Travis Goff has obviously already talked about quite a bit. Kansas obviously pushed really hard on the administrative side to get a lot of donations off of the run that KU had, the Super Regional this year. They did that whole matching thing with matching donations. So that's the other side of it. That is probably going to take a little bit longer, right? Like KU's not going to just be able to build an indoor facility overnight. They're not going to be able to upgrade Hoagland overnight. But if they are taking concerted steps in that direction and in the continued increase in investment in baseball, that should only serve to help the other side of it with Dan Fitzgerald and his team and his players. So that's kind of, I think, the 2-pronged strategy that KU has right now to maintain the level of performance they've had with baseball over the past couple seasons. And again, to legitimately say, hey, we're a top 3 program in the conference. We're not just a flash in the pan. It's not like we just had, a good 2-3 year run and then we're going to go back to being a middling conference team. Like, no, let's push to make sure that we're in the top of the conference. And the overarching sort of thing that looms over all this, of course, is the football stadium. And once you finish that, in theory, that's going to open up a lot more opportunities, I think, for that point to increase your investment across other areas. But obviously, as you guys are aware, the football stadium is definitely, zapping a lot of the investment power of KU, I think, in other areas. I don't think that's like, breaking news or anything. I think people, you can look at it and say, wow, a $500 million stadium's taking up a lot of money.
Yeah,
right.
Really?
So I think for KU, if I'm Travis Goff, obviously to me the biggest thing is just get the damn stadium done. And once that is done, then I think you can really start to zero in on and hone in on what specifically you can do to help out other programs, not just baseball, obviously, but the other programs around campus too, because I think probably KU's stretched a little thin right now with the football stadium stuff. So we'll see how it all plays out. But at the end of the day, I do think KU has a chance to put themselves in the conversation to be a top team in the conference in baseball on a year-to-year basis, and that's a very exciting thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely it is. And, when you look at it, I guess in terms of sustainability, right, the identity of the baseball team has been ragtag, bunch of no-name guys coming from tiny little JUCOs that John Coyne and Dan Fitzgerald have done they've done such a tremendous job of finding the talent there and kind of twisting the sponge, getting as much talent out of these guys as possible. I guess what's the next feasible step for Kansas baseball to potentially be a landing spot for the high level transfers coming out, like LSU, for example? Like, they took Cooper Moore away from us, right? If you're a guy,
by the way, go look at what Cooper Moore did this year.
Well, yeah. I understand. Aside from the fact that did absolutely nothing. But when you look at the high level transfers, the guys who come from like the middle to top tier Power 5 schools, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I'm doing great at Northwestern or Texas Tech or wherever, but I'm going to go transfer to LSU. I'm going to go. Well, no, but that's one thing. It's like you go transfer to Vandy or LSU or OU or Texas, right? What does Kansas need to do to get into that realm, or is their identity just going to be ragtag JUCO guys for the remainder of this tenure?
I think you answered your own question at the end there. I don't think KU wants to be in that realm.
Okay.
I don't think Dan Fitzgerald, John Coyne, I don't think they want to be in that realm. I don't think that they're paying attention to guys and their, whether or not they're high-level transfers or not. I think they're more focused on team guys. I think they're more focused on, team-first players. And guess what? A lot of those guys are going to be lower-level guys because, you know what? You have to really love the game and really be dedicated to being a team player to play at a JUCO level, right? Like, you have to really, really be dedicated to the grind. You're going to be on long bus rides. You're going to be playing in front of, really small crowds. You're going to be – it is a legit grind. But those are the types of players that I think they want. So I'm not sure that they're interested – I'm not sure that they'll be super interested in going after the, like glitzy, glamorous, top players, if you want to call it that. So I think you probably answered your own question a little bit there with sort of what their strategy is. And I don't see any reason why it's not sustainable because it's obvious, I think, based off of what KU's done over the past, 4 years since Dan Fitzgerald got here, it's obvious there's a lot of talent at lower levels of college baseball.
Yeah.
Obvious, because that's how KU's been good, is they found the level. So, and I don't think that well is going to dry up. I think the only way that it could cause an issue for KU is if other programs look at what KU is doing and try to copy KU.
Right.
And they start going after, if other programs start saying, hey, you know what, KU's onto something. Let's go find the top JUCO guys and let's bring them here, right? If other programs start doing that, that's where I could see it being an issue for Kansas, because right now it seems like they kind of have a monopoly on that strategy. But I have no doubt that other programs are going to look at them and say, gosh dang, these guys went from being like a bottom 5 program in the Big 12 to basically winning the Big 12 last year if you get rid of the BS win percentage crap, and then obviously winning the Big 12 this year and getting to Super Regional. So I have no doubt that there's going to be other programs that are struggling, that that are maybe not having as much success, that may take a closer look at Kansas and say, damn, like we maybe need to start investing a lot more in JUCO recruiting. If that happens, then really that just puts the more pressure on KU to be, even more sharp in their evaluations of what they're doing at that level. But I don't know. That's just something where time will tell. In the meantime, I think it's very sustainable, because I think there's a large enough pool of players at the lower levels of college baseball. And if you're scouting and your evaluation is good enough, you're going to find it. And clearly that's been demonstrated by KU over the past 4 years.
Yeah, sure has. Nick Springer, Kansas City Sports Network, joining us. KU baseball, the last team out before the College World Series was set. We're going to talk a little College World Series a little bit later on. But
Troy.
Nick, the Big 12 basketball matrix were released, men's and women's. On the men's side, KU gets Baylor twice, K-State twice, and Iowa State twice. Your road games are more difficult on paper than your home games, as you have both Houston and Arizona on the road. I don't know how much you've had a chance to look at this, but I think only facing those teams once each, which those are the two teams right now that are ahead of Kansas in the Big 12 in terms of Torvik rankings for the upcoming basketball season. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be favored going into those games, but it's good that you're only facing those teams once. Any major thoughts on that? And then Baylor, a team that was really down last year. K-State's no good. They've got a new coach. Iowa State twice. You figure probably a split there. Overall, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for me at least, K-State and Iowa State should be home and homes every year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your two biggest regional rivals, I would say, at this point. Yes, I'm going to give Iowa State a little bit of respect, even though I normally don't because Ames sucks and it's the worst town ever. But I'll give a little bit of respect to Iowa State. I think they are now – I view them now as being more of a peer school to KU in basketball than ever before. I think they've earned that. So I like that because those are your two closest regional teams to play against. You mentioned Baylor with Scott Drew. We'll see. He's really good at reinventing himself. So, despite the fact that they had a bad year last year, we'll see what they end up with this upcoming season. And then, like you mentioned, the conversation around the home and home thing is like, or, not playing everybody home and home is that, in the previous iteration of the Big 12, when you knew you were going to play every team in Allen Fieldhouse, it was, okay, who cares?
Yeah.
We're gonna at worst split with them. Like they're not going to roll Allen Fieldhouse and beat us. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
With this new scheduling, obviously, it makes things a little bit more tricky because you're right. I mean, you are getting the tougher teams in the Big 12 on the road. And so, like you said, it basically becomes an argument of, okay, you only have to play them once, which is good, but if you're playing them once on the road, you're probably going to lose and not going to have a chance to get them back, right? And that's when you look at Arizona, BYU, Houston. I mean, those are going to be three really tough games for KU.
Yeah.
But, let's just be clear about something here. Regardless of the opponent, KU has not been good on the road in the conference for the past really 4 years. Right. It hasn't mattered. I mean, it could be Cincinnati, West Virginia. It could be the
Arizona
bottom
State.
Right. It could be the bottom of the barrel teams in the conference. So it doesn't really move me that much, I would say, just overall. But it is on paper a fairly difficult schedule for Kansas in conference play because of the teams that they get on the road versus the teams they get at home. So we'll see. As always, I think Bill Self has said this several times over the years, but if you defend home court and you win 50% of your road games, you're going to be a top, 2-3 team in the conference probably. So go do that and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Nick Springer, KCSN, Pay Heat Podcast. One more thing before we get you out of here.
Thank God.
I know.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? Oh, jeez. My bad. Sorry.
In your last podcast episode, you talked a little bit about Kansas basketball potentially adding a new guy, and there's been a lot of, rumblings, if you will, about Malik Ewan coming over from Arkansas. There's still another spot left potentially for two more spots left for Kansas.
13 players, I believe.
Add. I mean, what's the likelihood, I guess, that Kansas gets another, rotational piece, I guess, impact player as opposed to another scout team guy? I mean, Malik Ewan, this is a guy who averaged almost double digits for Arkansas last year. I mean, a pretty solid player for Arkansas. I mean, what are you hearing on that, and where do you think Kansas goes from here?
I'm going to steal another Bill Self word that he used earlier this offseason, and that he described, I think, when talking about KU's roster, that they would look for another steal.
Ooh.
Malik Ewan would be a steal, for
sure.
I mean, he automatically would become your most experienced big man, I guess, outside of Keanu Dawes. But yeah, he's more experienced than Keanu Dawes. He's had a longer career than Keanu Dawes. But you got to caveat this whole conversation with Malik Ewan is technically out of eligibility. He would need a waiver. I am not going to sit here and act like I know one way or the other whether or not he's going to get a waiver, because anybody I think who does try to claim that they know is a fool with how the NCAA operates. So that needs to be a whole caveat for this whole conversation, is that he may not even have a chance. He may not even be eligible. But clearly, KU thinks there must be a chance he can be eligible. Otherwise, I don't think they would be really pursuing him. It is worth noting that Malik Ewan, when he transferred from Florida State to Arkansas last year, Kansas was in his top 5 before he committed to Arkansas. So there's a previous relationship there. Kansas actively recruited him a little bit in the transfer portal last season. I don't know how aggressive they were. Obviously, ended up going to Arkansas. But he was in there. They were in his top 5. So there's a previous relationship there as well. But yeah, that would be a huge steal. Malik Ewan had 2 double-doubles in 3 tournament games for Arkansas. 14 and 12 against High Point, and then 16 and 12 in the round of 32 game that they played. So again, he would automatically almost become your most productive big man, really, alongside Keanu Dawes, and certainly your most experienced guy. With him being bouncing around in the SEC and the ACC when he went to Florida State, and so it'd be a big get because Christian Reeves is now an even bigger unknown. If you thought he was an unknown before, now he's on the shelf until basically October, it seems like.
Right.
So, what can we realistically expect from him, certainly early in the season? And obviously, as president of Paul and Bean Fan Club, I'm going to support my guy. But there's obviously a lot of question marks there in terms of what kind of steps forward he'll take this season at the 5 spot. So I think this is a combination of KU, leaving no stone unturned for trying to improve their roster, which makes sense because, again, elephant in the room is that this could be Bill Self's last ride. We don't know. I mean, we're kind of in the program's kind of in a state of limbo on a year-to-year basis right now. I know publicly Bill Self said, hey, I'm not viewing it that way, but I mean, it's kind of hard not to view it that way, let's be honest. And so if it could indeed be his real last ride this time, naturally he's going to want to try to squeeze every last drop he can out of building this roster to the best of his capabilities. And guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at KU's roster right now and say, what's the biggest weakness? Front court, right?
Absolutely.
It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Okay, you've got an international inexperienced guy that had 2 good games in the NCAA tournament down the stretch before barely playing before that. You've got a transfer from Utah that was a really bad team, but okay, you feel like he has a high floor, but sure, maybe. And then you got a guy that's been injured half his career and played at the lower level and did okay,
and is still injured right now.
And then you've got Davion, and then you've got Davion Atkins. That's your front court right now.
That's it.
Does that not scream weakness to you? Because it screams weakness to me. So this just makes sense. I think this is just KU trying to be very diligent and looking to improve that area of their roster.
Harsh words from the president of the Paul and Bean Fan Club.
Which part?
You said he's in it. Only had 2 good games, and you didn't seem too thrilled.
I'm gonna ride with my boy no matter what, but I'm just saying.
I'm riding with my boy. Yeah,
no, I'm gonna ride with him, but I gotta look objectively at the facts.
All right,
too.
fair enough.
I'm just saying. But yeah, the point being that I'm not surprised that KU is snooping around for another big man, whether it's Malik Ewan or whether it's insert random blank here of name. That's not shocking.
Scott Player.
What?
Scott Player.
Scott Player. He was a former punter that people thought was just a made-up player in the video games, but his name was actually Scott Player.
Right. Yeah. So not surprised. We'll see what happens with this specific case or if KU looks at somebody else, at any point. But, again, caveat the whole conversation. I don't know if Ewan's going to be eligible.
Sure.
And so with that in mind, who knows? And, the financial part of it is, I think, something to bring up too. But obviously, again, I think if KU thought that they couldn't afford Ewan, they probably wouldn't have gotten this far with him, which it seems like they've gotten reasonably far in terms of their conversations. So I don't know.
Yeah. Nick Springer, Kansas City Sports Network. Don't do anything I wouldn't do this week, all right? We'll get you on next week.
Okay, yeah.
It leaves it open.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, check him out on the Pay Heat podcast on the Kansas City Sports Network with our boy.
Everything I do is what you wouldn't do.
Shreyas Lada. You think?
Probably.
He lives his life the opposite of you.
Yeah.
Right. I just think what would Sean do, and then I do the opposite.
Yeah.
Smart.
I mean,
it's like that episode. It's like that episode of Seinfeld.
That checks out.
George Costanza.
Just do the opposite.
Just do the opposite of whatever I think I would do.
More coming up. We got Men's College World Series stuff, some Darren Peterson stuff, and Case of the Mondays. Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks if you're watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, listening on ESPN Kansas City, and watching on KansasNation.com. Rock Chalk Sports here, KansasNation.com, ESPN Kansas City. Crown Automotive, our founding partners here at Kansas Nation. You can check them out on South Iowa in Lawrence. If you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, they've got a great selection of used vehicles and, of course, new Toyotas, new Volkswagens, Tundras, RAV4s, Camrys, Corollas, whatever fits your lifestyle. They will help you out. Miles Schneer and his team, great sales and service people over at Crown Automotive. All right, let's get into our Case of the Monday segment. Didn't have one last week, and we just found out during break, Dan, that Nick Springer will be out of town next Monday. So it's going to be a Case of the Mondays for you, as you will find yourselves without Nick and, like Eminem said, without me.
That is true. I will be doing the show by myself. I can't believe how selfish of a move that is to make me do the show by myself for an entire week.
That's crazy, man.
It's unbelievable.
I would say it won't happen again, but it will.
I'm sure it will.
I know.
I deserve it.
I can't imagine doing it by myself.
I know. You held it down this past week. Mm-hmm. I heard it was fantastic. Didn't listen to a second of the show, by the way. No. But I heard it was great. Elijah told me that you did a wonderful job.
Well, he's just being nice because I offered.
You had some nice special guest hosts as well.
We did.
So you didn't have Henry come on, and you had Henry.
Yeah, Henry came on,
but he didn't do any special segments with you.
Yeah, we did mailbag. Henry and I did do mailbag.
Oh, you both did?
Yeah, and a lot of broke down NBA draft.
Nice. Okay, that's fine.
Good.
Okay, well, I'll figure something out. Like you said, Nick's going to be out next week, so maybe I'll bring Elijah on, or I'll do something.
For sure.
I'll figure something out.
For sure.
Hey,
Elijah might want to hop on.
Case of the Mondays.
Yes.
Case of the Mondays. Let's start here. It's Case of the Mondays for Brad Bohannon. Are you aware of who Brad Bohannon is?
Oh, I've seen chatter about this.
Brad Bohannon, former head coach of the University of Alabama baseball team, was fired back in 2023 for betting against his own team.
That's like as bad as it gets. I mean, there's a lot, regarding the Sorsby stuff, but that's
head coach,
somebody who actually can make X's and O's moves.
That's what I'm saying.
To adjust it.
Yeah. He's got money on the over or whatever. He's like, let me put in my worst bullpen guy in the fourth inning here and have him start shelling us. You know what I mean? So like bad stuff. Completely disavow. Like I said, fired in 2023. Well, Alabama is now in Omaha.
Yeah.
And Brad Bohannon, somebody found him. Because usually when this kind of stuff happens, they kind of go into hiding or do something else. Brad Bohannon now, if you were curious what his next career move was, he is now a pharmaceutical sales rep in Lexington, Kentucky. Isn't that amazing? What a, would you say lateral move?
Yeah, that
maybe less than a lateral move.
Equal. We'll go with lateral.
Really unfortunate for him, obviously, but also deserved. He should never be able to coach baseball again. But people found him on LinkedIn. He's still using his Alabama headshot, the official Alabama coach headshot as his LinkedIn profile picture, while he's a pharmaceutical sales rep for Lexington, Kentucky.
Hey, he doesn't want to forget when he peaked.
That's right. Yeah. That's absolutely right. Do you think there's any world now? Just a hypothetical. Let's say, you're a head coach. I'll even go as far as to say you're a player, and you bet not only on sports, but against your own team. Let's say you're a coach and or player. Do you think you should ever be allowed to participate again in some form of the sport?
No. I mean, if you're somebody
you don't think so?
No, do you?
Well, absolutely, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You seem surprised about my answer.
No, I'm not. It's a little surprising because I feel like, there's not a world. I mean, there is probably a world out there where, let's just say, I'm just going to say a random school like Texas Tech, and let's say, they have a quarterback, for example, who, bet against their old team. I mean, you would think like there's no way that guy is like that guy probably has to go into pharmaceutical sales.
Probably so. Yep. Or as you would say, selling insurance.
Yeah, I always say,
you do always break
one of my favorites is Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I used to always do it because I actually knew a guy who went to the NFL, and he went to a rookie minicamp, never played.
Yeah.
And then immediately after he started working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And so I always use that as no, that guy's going to be working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car in a year. Shout out to Eddie Vincent, man. Shout out. Good guy. Love him to death. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of silly and funny.
More on that.
About, hey, this guy bet against his own team, and now he's a pharmaceutical sales rep in Lexington, Kentucky, and he's never going to coach baseball again. What would happen if you were a quarterback at a Power 4 level and that exact same thing happened? I don't know. Maybe you would think, hey, you're never going to play football again.
Do you want to give your take in the NFL's action? Or NCAA action on Sorsby now?
Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it later?
We can do it now. Let's get into it.
Let's do it later. Let's do it later because we have Big 12 stuff later.
Okay.
But I thought it was a fun thing to bring up.
Also, Bama and Omaha.
What does that tell you about the ethics behind pharmaceutical sales reps?
Right.
They'll just hire anybody, huh?
Hey, apparently so, man.
You would think, I don't know, that happened in 2023. I mean, you'd think maybe he'd be okay for a couple of years off of the salary that he made at Bama?
Probably. It's hard to
know.
That
he doesn't have to move to Lexington to become a... I guess, hey, clean slate. You're in Kentucky now. You know, he probably got bored sitting around at home.
He played at Vandy and he played at Georgia Tech.
Did he play in the majors at all?
Baseball background.
I don't think he...
He never played in the majors.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading up on the scandal right now.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, it is. Interesting.
I think that had to have been like... That was before we started doing the show, right?
2023, yep.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Good stuff. Anyway, let's move on.
Good stuff. All right, let's move on. Hey, Case of the Mondays for Joseph Graves. We actually have a video of this. So Kansas State recruit Joseph Graves, he was on a visit to K-State, you know, dressed in all the white and everything, doing his thing. And his mom actually got involved in the shoot. If you're listening on ESPN Kansas City or listening on a podcast, I'll explain it later. But can we play this video because it's unbelievable? So that was
not something I expected.
So that was
I expected.
That was his mother. I don't have the mom's name, Mrs. Graves, I would imagine.
Got people saying to sign her too.
Yeah. So Joseph Graves is there clapping his hands, doing his thing with the photo shoot, and his mom comes in, fully padded up, and just
clocks him.
Absolutely clocks him. Just a perfect form tackle, just smokes her son. I love this. Do you think Kathleen Kellerman can do that?
Oh my gosh, no.
Can she take you down?
No. Bless her heart, no.
I don't think my mom could either.
Oh my gosh,
that's a hard hit.
This is great.
She smoked him, dude. I mean, perfect form tackle. I want to see the pictures. I want to see the pictures of his mom. I'm
trying to figure out the backstory. I mean, because she looks like an athlete.
I know. Yeah, she's
an
tall.
Absolute athlete.
I mean, she's got to be. I mean, he's wearing number 75, so you got to imagine he's either an offensive guard or offensive tackle. It means you're probably over 6'3". His mom is about that height.
Right.
I mean, she smoked him, dude.
This isn't. Yeah, I mean, this is a big dude.
Yeah,
that's a big dude that just gets absolutely flattened.
Yeah, that was a hard hit.
Now, was this a planned bit?
I don't know.
It has to be. I mean, because he got up. I mean, he looked a little shook up, but he did get up and resumed clapping his hands and all that. But man,
I always love it because like
she was like, "This is my moment."
Yes, that was her moment.
This is my moment that I can get him back for everything that he caused me when he was growing up.
That was all about that was Mrs. Graves' time for sure. But I always love those weird photo shoots that they have. Like
you want Chris Sinak thinking it's Chris Sinak.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Tyron Stokes, he had one where I think it was his mom like pretending to dunk on him. And there was one a couple of years ago. There was a Florida player, and like they had the dad dressed up in the pads, and he just looked so out of place. Yeah, doing like the holding his hands up like this.
The dad's wearing basketball shorts.
It's great.
It's always the best.
It's always the best, man. I love the weird gimmicks, and like remember Brian Kelly? He was like dancing behind that one LSU recruit that one time, and that guy was like. So, do you think that this is because this has gone kind of viral? Do you think this is going to make him more likely or less likely to go to Kansas State?
I think more likely.
Because I think you think more likely. I think less likely. Okay. I think everybody at K-State's going to be like, "Oh, you're the guy whose mom tackled."
That's true. That's true. But you know what? He took it in stride. No pun intended. He took it in stride. Like I said, he got up. He was clapping his hands.
Good for him. For him.
Interesting choice there for.
I'm glad you got his mom involved.
It did go viral. I mean, if they wanted to go viral, there's that.
Gosh, that's a good hit.
That's a good hit. That's good form.
Great
former
form.
athlete again.
She got to be a former athlete
at some point.
Yeah, she got him good. Hey, this is not a political podcast whatsoever, but I thought this was really funny because there's no community note on this, by the way. This has 14.8 million views, no community note. Apparently, so as you know, there was MMA fights going on the White House lawn yesterday. It started at like midnight, which is crazy to me. That's a school night, man. Like I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of it. I was asleep already. I had been on a plane all day. So, I wasn't going to watch any of that stuff. But apparently Daniel Cormier, who, very legendary MMA guy, he apparently put out a tweet, deleted it almost immediately, by the way, but a lot of people got the screenshots. put out a tweet that says, "I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for bringing this to light. However, I refuse to stay silent. The UFC is a sport that I'm deeply passionate about and will not tolerate this type of insider behavior. Shame on anyone trying to ruin this beautiful event." And the pictures that he posted were of a direct message from Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son. And this is what the DM said. It said, "Hey, Daniel, I'm going to be attending UFC 250 tomorrow. Saw you were casting. Hope to see you there." He said, "Hey, didn't expect a DM from you. Really excited to meet you and your family. Much love, brother." And he says, "Anything you can tell me about the fighters tomorrow, who you got winning?" Like, naturally, like, hey, who you got? And then Eric Trump goes on to say, "You placing any bets?" Daniel Cormier says, "I'm actually not allowed to place any bets on any cards or anything." And then he continues to go, "Are there any fighters that are injured that you may be aware of?" He's like, I don't know, man. You keep asking me this, but I think they're all in good shape." He said, "I'll just cut right to the chase. Are there any of the fights tomorrow rigged? I've been eyeing the Lopez fight and think an upset wouldn't be too unrealistic." And he said, "None of our fights are rigged, honestly, and I'm appalled that you would even ask me something like that." I mean, that's not good.
That's not good. He's trying to backtrack it now.
So Daniel Cormier actually, he put it out, and I would imagine somebody got in his ear like, "Hey, man, like, this is the president's son.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do this.
You can't be putting him on blast like this. It has now been deleted, but case of the Mondays for the sanctity of sports, man. Like, that's...
Yeah.
You can't... I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Nobody's going to believe the backtrack, too, is the problem.
I know.
You got people responding saying they got you at gunpoint as we speak, huh? Yeah, I mean...
yeah. I mean, credit to Daniel Cormier for putting... Again, I don't know. There's no community note. That's how you know right away. This has 14.8 million views on Twitter. Usually if something like this comes out, there's usually a community note that says, like, "Hey, this is completely not real." Eric Trump actually tweeted back and said, "Hey, this is not real. This is completely fake." Anything. Yeah. But again, no community note on either one of those tweets. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know. Again, not political podcast, but still, this goes back to like the, hey, like, why are you you know what I mean?
Well, I love Cormier's most recent tweet, which is, "Are people really this dumb?" It's like, are you people? Because,
yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, I don't know if it's dumber to engage with this or to post it or to backtrack on it.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I do not know. The whole thing stinks to high heaven. I heard it was fun, though. I did hear that the UFC fights were fun. I heard it was well put on, which is good, because I know a lot of people are saying, like,
back from,
it's weird. It's weird they did it on the front lawn of the White House. I think it turned out to be a good time, though. That's what I heard. It turned out to be okay, so that's good. Hey, Case of Mondays for other countries. So I had this beautiful reading. I wanted to read this, but this has been something, and I knew this would happen. This happens every once in a while, but I knew this would happen, where people from other countries are just completely floored by the fact of, like, the way things are done in America. And I wanted to read this to you. This is from Nobunaga, who is from Japan, traveled to the United States to watch Japan in the World Cup. And I wanted to read this to you. It says, "USA, a Mexican restaurant. We had not yet ordered anything, and the food was already arriving. Chips, salsa, unrequested, free."
Are you going to read this whole thing?
I'll skim it.
Okay, fair.
"Chips, salsa, unrequested, free. I stopped the waiter. He said, 'We have not earned these.' He said, 'They come with the table, man.'
Free chips and salsa."
He's like, "What?"
America, point.
He said, "This is not an appetizer. This is a declaration. We trust you. Eat." He said, "I ate with the gravity of the moment deserved. And then, I must report this calmly, the basket emptied and a new one appeared. Did we?" And the waiter said, "Refill. It's bottomless." Bottomless. He said, "They have wells of salsa. The supply lines of this nation are beyond anything my ancestors imagined." This guy traveled from Japan to America and thought the most beautiful thing in the world was bottomless chips and salsa.
Do you disagree?
I like the fact he's viewing this as like an alien or like a child for the first time. Of
brand new
wait a minute, it's free and it's bottomless. We get as many chips and salsa as we want, and we don't have to pay for the chips and salsa. No, it's amazing. I'm seeing a bunch of people. They're like, "Hey, I ordered a Coca-Cola Classic. I just ordered a Coke. And I finished it, and then the waiter's like, "Oh, hey, let me get you." He goes, "No, I just wanted one." He goes,
we do take for granted how awesome
the refills
we
are free.
Some situations like that. Yeah,
yeah, it's amazing. He's like, "What do you mean refills are free?" Said, "Yeah, the refills are. You just get another one." I said, "What?" It's unbelievable. There's a guy. His name is Freddie. I think he's a German Germany fan who came over. He thought Chattanooga, Tennessee, was just the most beautiful place in the world. It's just
hey man, you've seen how much
he ate
people
Raising
love
Cane's
Lawrence.
for the first time.
Algerian people love Lawrence. It's great.
Algerian people love Lawrence.
Man, that's been the greatest.
They're ingratiating
marrying
themselves.
The Algerian nation and Lawrence, Kansas. But yeah, no, this is funny because they're talking about how don't fill up on chips, but that's how it goes at Mexican restaurants. You don't actually eat the entree that you order as your entree. That's for tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
That's
right.
For tomorrow.
No,
the
exactly.
chips are your dinner tonight.
Chips are the dinner tonight. You eat a couple of bites of your fajita, and then you box it up, and then you eat it tomorrow after you heat it up in the microwave. I love it. I love the fact that because you're seeing a lot of tweets everywhere. They're like, we've been lied to about America. About America is like this hellhole.
Yeah, no,
and it's like
great.
This dystopian place. It's like, actually, America's sick.
Right.
It's actually the coolest place ever. I saw them. They were like gassing up NRG
There's no
Stadium.
Number of baskets I would refuse.
Yeah.
So good.
Like people were loving NRG Stadium, which is hilarious because that's like not even in the top 10.
Best NFL stadium.
Yeah, it's fine. It's new. I'll give you that. But it's just like, it's so funny to me that they're just like, oh my gosh, like, wait a minute, free chips and salsa? I didn't earn this. I love the way that he phrased it. He said, I didn't earn this.
Right.
What do you mean you didn't?
Nor did you have to pay for it.
And you didn't have to pay for it. It's beautiful.
One more here, World Cup chatter.
Yeah, another World Cup chatter. Case of Mondays for England. Apparently England, all of their training equipment got stolen after vehicles transferring kits to Kansas City training bases were broken into. They stole balls and boots, among items feared to have been taken after the vehicle was broken into. This is en route to Kansas City. I don't remember where exactly they were traveling from, but from wherever they landed to the travel destination to Kansas City, apparently all their boots and balls got stolen, which is unfortunate.
I hope it wasn't the great people of Kansas City.
I doubt it.
Can't imagine.
By the way, I came back into the States because I was in Mexico, obviously, for my honeymoon at Cancun, and we went through customs and everything. That was the busiest I'd ever seen that airport.
Really?
It was unbelievably busy. It was like
people just loving the all-inclusive in Mexico.
It was like no. That's the thing. It was like all different flights traveling from everywhere else. Like it was like Argentina. I got off the plane and there was another plane that came off around the same time we did. I saw probably 50 Argentinian fans all wearing like Messi jerseys and, all different things. And I saw a bunch of volunteers there for the World Cup. Like they were selling different things and they had volunteers and they were like helping these people out, like getting them on a bus to go to the fan fest. It was unbelievable. I mean, Kansas City and Lawrence, really all of America, but just because we see it. Kansas City has ingratiated themselves and really taken advantage of like this opportunity that they have of like, hey, we're going to show people that like Kansas City is a tourist destination that people should come to and visit because we're so friendly. I mean, that's the Midwestern concept, right? Is like you hear about Southern hospitality, but like that Midwestern hospitality, man, we're so happy to have you. That's the same with Lawrence and Algeria.
Heart of it, man. Lawrence, Kansas. Beautiful thing. It's the heart of it. That's our Case of the Mondays for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got a couple more quick segments for you. We're going to talk Darren Peterson, Men's College World Series. Dan has a word on the Brendan Sorsby fiasco as well. It's been nothing short of that. All that's coming up. Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Custom Lawn and Landscape, partners of us here at Kansas Nation, and they sponsored our baseball updates all season long. Spring and summer are made for backyard fun. Custom Lawn and Landscape has a home insect control program that helps defend your yard from pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. Right now, when you sign up for the season, your first application is absolutely free. It's a simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. Dan, Shreyas Latta was on the show on Friday. We talked a little NBA draft. That's coming up on June 23rd and 24th. That's next Tuesday and Wednesday. Shreyas is going to be up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And, of course, all the chatter about number one overall pick, A.J. Debonsa, Darren Peterson. Debonsa is the odds-on favorite to go one overall to Washington. The Jazz have the second pick, and they, I would assume, would love a chance at Debonsa, keep him in the state of Utah. But interesting nugget on Darren Peterson. I got some texts on my phone this morning about that, how DP not exactly meeting with everybody.
Yeah, it is interesting. So this came out. This is per Shams Charania and Jeremy Wu. Apparently, Darren Peterson, he visited the Washington Wizards. They have the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. He's not planning to meet with any other team prior to the NBA draft, right? I mean, and this isn't something that we haven't seen before, right? We saw Ace Bailey do it last year, where Ace Bailey decided not to wind up working out with the Jazz. The Jazz still wound up taking him number 5 overall. So it's not crazy to think that. But again, there's a couple of different ways to look at this. Number one, it's him calling his shot, right? Of like, hey, I'm working out with the Wizards because they're the number 1. They have the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. I'm not going anywhere else. You know what I mean? Everyone else knows how good I am. And we know how good Darren Peterson is, right? He missed 11 games this year due to injury. He had the cramping issue, the injury saga, whatever it may be. But you saw it. Don't play naive. You saw it. You can see how good of a basketball player Darren Peterson is. It's smooth. It flows well. I've never seen anything like it in person before. He's the best basketball player that I've ever seen play in person. I haven't seen LeBron James play in person. I haven't seen Kevin Durant play in person. I've seen Darren Peterson play in person. There's nothing like it. And I think this is him potentially calling his shot, saying, hey, everyone else knows how good I am. I'll meet with the Wizards because they're the number 1 overall. They have the number 1 overall pick. And I want to try to make my case for them to potentially take me. AJ Debonsa, again, very, very good player. He led the nation in scoring. First time anybody's done that, by the way, as a freshman since Trae Young, back in whatever that was, 17, 18, or 16, 17? I think it was 17, 18.
17, 18.
Around there. First time a freshman has led the nation in scoring since Trae Young did it. He's a 6'9" wing. That's exactly what you want out of an NBA player. You know, I get it, right? But Darren Peterson is a difference maker on any team you plug him into. So I don't know. There's a couple of different ways to look at this where it's either A, he's calling his shot. He's saying, hey, I'm gonna meet with them because I deserve to be the number 1 overall pick. Everyone else knows how good I am. I don't even need to talk to them because even if I don't go number 1 overall, I'm going number 2 overall to the Utah Jazz. That's fine. The second way you can look at this is, okay, this is a little bit of a cocky move. You know, this is him saying, you know what, I'm not going to meet with anybody else. I don't care about playing with anybody else because I want to be number 1 overall. I get that also. Darren Peterson doesn't strike me as the diva type. I mean, you and I saw it this year about him potentially like, oh, well, you know, he has this whole injury saga going on. But behind the scenes, it was a lot more serious than anybody had even imagined, right? So, I mean, I guess I want your take on this as well, but it is interesting to note that Peterson did say he's not planning on meeting with any other team except for the Washington Wizards, who have the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, and now he's presumed to go to the Utah Jazz, who have the number 2 overall pick.
I mean, I guess he's betting on himself, right? I don't really understand the negative if he were to meet with the Jazz or meet with other teams, but to each his own, I suppose. Again, I think
sheer confidence.
I think Debonsa is going 1 overall. I asked Shreyas, and he seems to think there's an opportunity. The other option is opportunity for the Jazz to potentially trade up. They would have to give up a load to get the number 1 overall pick, and you know you have to think that's probably the only way the Jazz are going to get Debonsa. And I'm just assuming they want Debonsa. I don't know for sure. Maybe Peterson is their guy. But, you know, Debonsa playing at BYU, similar people in the front office, BYU, investors in BYU, front office people for the Utah Jazz. I think, you know, that's not nothing. It's worth mentioning for sure. I do think those two will go 1-2 overall. I don't know. It's so much got the Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers feel for me. If they select Darren Peterson at 2, how's DP going to be feeling when he's putting on that Jazz hat? Because I think we all agree that's the most likely scenario of this situation is based on what happened last year, you know, the head-to-head matchup notwithstanding of Peterson and Debonsa and all the success head-to-head that Peterson's had against Debonsa, high school and otherwise. The fact that Peterson had the injury issues, there was all the drama surrounding Peterson and his camp, if we're being completely blunt. And the fact that DeBonta was going out playing 35-plus minutes every game and balling out and being healthy, I think DeBonta very clearly, ever since February or so, has been the perceived number one pick. Now, I don't know, but I don't understand why you wouldn't, in Peterson's situation, meet with teams. I just feel like it puts you in a bad, I don't want to say puts you in a bad light, but if the Jazz want to meet with you and you're saying no thanks, how is that a good relationship from the jump?
Yeah, but the Jazz did that with Ace Bailey too. Ace Bailey didn't want to meet with the Jazz, which is so weird that it's also the Jazz.
So maybe it's nothing.
It could be nothing, but again, we kind of knew Ace Bailey was a little bit of a diva heading in, obviously, and Ace Bailey had an okay year this year. Wound up having 13.8 points per game, 27.6.
And he's gonna be really good. How Rutgers was so bad with Bailey and Dylan Harper, I have no idea.
No idea.
But who knows?
But
maybe it's nothing.
Here's the thing, though. If you look at what each of those teams need, it's kind of going to set in a perfect light, right? I mean, the Utah Jazz, they need guards. They have Keontae George. Other than that, they have Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen. Those guys are forwards. Those are the three best players. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. But, at the same time, the Washington Wizards need a big wing, which is what AJ DeMonta is.
We'll have more NBA draft coverage here as that comes about. We are up against the break, so we're going to get to that and close out talking a little Men's College World Series, Brendan Sorsby stuff as well. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you, kicking off your week of Rock Chalk Sports, custom lawn and landscape. Free first application. Give them a call or check them out online at customlawn.com. You can keep your lawn beautiful and protected all season long. So if you've got kids, if you've got dogs running through the grass, you know that bugs are a real thing, fleas, ticks, and chiggers. Make sure that you take care of your lawn and make sure that those little rascals don't get inside either. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. Men's College World Series is underway, and just roll through this really quickly. Right now, top side of the bracket, you got West Virginia knocking off Troy. That was on Friday. Troy then in the elimination bracket would eliminate Ole Miss. So one SEC team completely eliminated. Troy now will get a rematch against West Virginia, who fell to North Carolina. North Carolina is 2-0. They await the winner of WVU and Troy. And again, that'll be the championship of that foursome, if you will. But if UNC loses, they'll get a chance to play again. Oklahoma defeated Alabama 9-0 on the other side, and Georgia defeated Texas 7-1. So OU and Georgia will do battle in the winner's bracket on that side, and the loser's bracket will be Alabama and Texas, two really good programs. The winner of that will stay alive. Loser is eliminated. Dan, we'll talk more on this tomorrow, but Big 12 taking action supposedly against Texas Tech. Yeah, the Big 12, they filed a federal lawsuit today in the Northern District of Texas seeking both a declaratory judgment and injunctive relief to allow the league, the authorities to use its bylaws to potentially punish Brendan Sorsby. So, we'll talk more about this, but the Big 12 essentially suing the Texas Attorney General. Yeah, and Big 12 is basically wondering, hey, what can we do? Right. These are our rules. We have the authority. We'll have more on that tomorrow. I want to give a big shout-out to Elijah Schmidt, assisted by Tyler Brewer today, who's helping us out here at Kansas Nation. And remind you guys, check us out online anytime anything happens with KU. Find us on socials, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, at the Kansas Nation on Facebook as well. For Dan Courtwright, Sean Kellerman saying we'll catch you tomorrow, 4 to 6, Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.